We're all in a big orchestration of waves in a big frequency symphony that is constantly happening. That's why I dig energy. I'm an energy nerd. We are measuring how fast something is oscillating. As you can see, when you put them out like that, they're kind of talking about the same thing. The energy system talks about a measurement. The scientific system talks about a measurement. The spirituality system is also talking about a measurement. Then we have a slight difference in what everything is measuring, but we also can see why the spiritual system and the scientific system butt heads so much about frequency. Today you're going to learn about frequencies, how the energy system sees and views frequencies, the word frequencies. We're also going to take a look at how science, the scientific system, sees frequencies. And then we're going to take a look at how the spiritual system sees frequencies. And once we highlight that, once we learn how these different viewpoints function, we're going to really comprehend why they butt head and clash so much about what frequencies are and how to use the word. According to the scientific system, frequency is a measurement. It is a tool of something. So frequency in itself doesn't mean anything until it is attached to something. This means that you have to have an experience, you have to have a certain amount of events, you have to have or an amount or a number of sort in order for frequency to become something. So the frequency tells you how much something occurs over a particular distance. Oftentimes in the science system, when we're talking about waves per se, we're talking about 1 second, that's the distance. So a Hertz is often measured over 1 second. The old term for this used to be cycles per second. And then you have the amount that something will occur over 1 second. So how many apples are occurring over a second? How many times is the wheel spinning over a second? How many wave cycles are accomplished over a second? This then tells you the frequency of the thing that you are measuring. So that's what frequency means to the science community. Again, it's a measurement. It doesn't mean anything beyond that measurement. And you can have many different kinds of frequencies of different things and different events and such. In the spirituality system, frequency is used different. Oftentimes in that system, frequency indicates how much light or dark is in one place. So when somebody in that system talks about something having a lot of frequencies or not having many frequencies, that means that they are indicating or they're finding a common reference point, a way to speak about how much light, how much something vibrates in a particular area. In that spiritual system, they would talk about that some are high frequency and some are low frequency. High frequency would mean that they are vibrating very fast with a lot, which causes a lot of light. And low frequency would mean that they're vibrating very slow and that doesn't contain a lot of light. That's a totally different way of seeing frequency. According to the energy system, and that's why I dig energy. I really am I love energy. I'm an energy nerd. We are measuring how fast something is oscillating at, how fast you oscillate, or how fast an atom is oscillating, how fast a subatomic particle is oscillating. But then we're also measuring the consequence of these oscillations. So we're measuring the vibrations of it. You have an oscillation, a spin in the middle that we're measuring in a particular frequency. We're also measuring the vibrations that are it's outletting. But then on top of that, we're also measuring how they collaborate, how these different vibrations come together. This is also known as interference, how the interference looks. And we're also measuring the combination of oscillation and vibrations, because everything is frequency and oscillations and vibrations. That's why the energy system is very, very obsessed or very picky or very into talking about frequency. On Generation Watts, when we speak about frequency, we are referring to energetic frequencies. So we are referring to various frequencies according to these oscillations and vibrations that are causing energy. There are many other frequencies that other people talk about. I love looking at frequencies of energy and sound and light and movement and matter to see how it generates energy. Those are the three different systems. And as you can see, when you put them out like that, they're kind of talking about the same thing, or in some ways they're like the energy system talks about a measurement, the scientific system talks about a measurement, the spirituality system is also talking about a measurement. Then we have a slight difference in what everything is measuring, but we also can see why the spiritual system and the scientific system butt heads so much about frequency, and why scientists get annoyed with spiritualists when they talk about something being of high frequency or low frequency. According to the science system, when you talk about something being of high frequency, it means that it occurs a lot in a particular set space. The commonality there when you talk about waves and energy would be something that is called harmonics. The system uses several different kinds of sequences. The harmonic sequence has overtones, so this means that it stacks itself in a proportional way no matter what the starting point is. Everything in our reality is based on proportion. The more you comprehend that this reality is about depth and not about vibrating at a particular set level that is high or low, the more details, the more amplified, the more abundant your life is going to be, because then you're not going to focus your energy into just generating one thing alone. You're going to generate an amplitude of frequencies. You're not going to close down possibilities, but you're going to be available for those possibilities. If you are have a lot of energy, but you're not grounding it out, it can cause a lot of problems in the time-bound essence. So you want the timeless and time-bound to function together, but you need the time-bound to hold the resonance of the timeless. So they need to come together as one in one piece. And then I want to leave you on the note that everything is a vibration. Everything is an oscillation. Everything is made out of energy, and everything of energy has to move. So in order for you to become your best self, in order for you to create the dreams that you envision or the passion and purposes, you have to comprehend the frequency that you need to oscillate at. You need to comprehend what speed, what tempo, what rhythm does the song that you want to embody into this reality, that you represent in this reality, what tempo that has, and then really fully embody it, because that's what it's all about. We're all in a big orchestration of waves. We're all in a big frequency symphony that is constantly happening, and this frequency symphony allows us to do various things. The tension in between the frequencies, the vibrations, allows us to suspend various emotions or expressions or creativity, or even our bodies ourselves. Right now, when you're watching this, or when I'm standing right here, I am suspending my body towards the tension of other atoms underneath my feet. So there's constantly this atomic frequency, this subatomic experience that is happening, that you have to, I would say, respect or honor, because that is part of the laws of energy. It's part of the laws of nature. And the more you realize that, the more grounded you are, the more you are in the so-called fundamental, if you're harmonics, the deeper, the more you can generate in this reality. And I'm going to break down more about it as we move through the podcast, but that's just a light first introduction. So on that note, make sure to hit subscribe so you can get notified when that podcast, when that episode, when that video releases. You can hit subscribe if you're listening to audio, or you can hit the notification, follow, subscribe button if you're looking at a video platform. Another way to stay in touch with us is to subscribe to the Generation What newsletter. This newsletter is what we use to notify and keep you and the community updated on what we are up to, what new releases, what we have, what new products, services, creative wellness, coaching and sessions, and all of that. Whatever we release comes out on that newsletter, including these podcast episodes. So I would just find the description and sign up for the newsletter as well. My name is Kissey Asplund. Bye.
Generation What.